We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We are live again this evening. Guys, listen, I want to talk about today. We do not have long left. We only have a matter of days left. Yes, I mean that. I'm not trying to be, it's not clickbait. We literally have days left before you need to be ready for whatever's coming. People are messaging me with videos, with comments, with anecdotes. Guys, look, the situation, we have reached critical mass now. We are heavily subverted as a country. We are heavily subverted as a nation. We have already gone through the demoralization phase. We are right now being destabilized. We're going to head into the crisis phase very soon. I believe this is going to come this summer. And look, guys, I'm going to talk to you guys today about things to do that you guys can do to secure your homes, your housing estates, wherever you live, guys, okay? We need to make sure they're safe because I believe this year we're going to have a situation, and we're already kind of seeing that anyway. We're going to have a situation this year in the United Kingdom where the police are overrun. They can't react. I mean, did you know, for example, that I think the police only solve 11% of crimes in the United Kingdom? Like, is that a real statistic, guys? Is that a real statistic? I think it was. I think it was on GB News. I think it was Patrick Christie. He was talking about in the United Kingdom, the police in the United Kingdom only solve 11% of crimes. What are we paying for them for? Like, what are we paying them for, guys? Like, why are we paying them? Like, what's the point? I'd rather my tax money, I'd rather spend that money myself and secure my own location, have the ability to secure my own location. Look, guys, the way we are heading at the moment in the United Kingdom, and I would say Europe as well, is into a stage where people are going to start to understand very soon that all these protests, all these big planned marches, they don't achieve anything. Do you know why they're not achieving anything? Picture it. You're earning millions, you're on the take, you're on some sort of back panel, you're earning loads of money. Oh, the migrants are coming over. Yeah, we're gonna take taxpayers' money to pay for those migrants because there's an ECHR loophole, and then we're just gonna, it's gonna be fine. No, I'm gonna buy another house in Barbados. Right. Show the people protesting down there. Who are they? Oh, it's just a load of peasants. What are they protesting about? Oh, you don't want the migrants coming in. Well, I'm not bothered. I'm just buying another house in Barbados. And this is the direction that's happening. This is happening right now, guys. People are waking up. And those people that go down to those protests, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your resources, you're taking a day off school, day off work, your kids maybe even taking a day off school. You're going down there, you're voicing your opinion, and guys, nothing will happen. Nothing. Niente. Niet spasiba. Chuvak delada davai. Niet spasiba. It's not happening, guys. Okay. In fact, niet diaku. It's not happening. All right. So what will happen? What the next logical step is, guys, and look, I'm not condoning this. I'm telling you, I've got to be quite clear here. I'm not going to be out doing it, guys. I'm literally going to be sat here, and I may go to a few of these protests. But for you guys need to know what's coming next. What's coming next is, remember how I always say, for every 100 people, you might get one person. For every 100 people at a protest, you might get one person who's going to go absolutely bonkers McSchmonkers, okay? So now we've got to understand, and maybe out of every 1,000, you might get 5 people who are going to go doubly bonkers. So what I'm getting at here, guys, is when people understand that the protests, that the waving the flags and that the chanting, it makes no difference. What they're going to do then is people are going to start to target politicians. And this is what's going to happen, guys. You're going to have so many, then you're going to have dissident. We're heading to a stage now in the United Kingdom that's going to resemble Northern Ireland, but beefed up because there's going to be more division, more division on our streets, guys. Okay, so many dividing lines at the moment, guys. It's absolutely unbelievable. Let me play a little video for you guys. So this is the guy, the Great British National Protest. Hang on, let me give me a second, guys. Right, so you guys know the Great British National Protest, right? This guy here, I'm going to play a video from this guy, okay? And I think this guy is waking up right now, guys. I'm going to play a video. The next voice you're going to hear is going to be his voice, guys, all right? He is waking up to what I was saying over a year ago. And I can remember when people were talking about this great British national protest, you know, people are going to do strike, people are going to do this, a day of action. I said to you guys, I said, look, guys, and all my videos are public record. I said, look, guys, not going to change anything. It's going to be great. People will be able to wave their flags. They'll feel good about themselves, but it will not change anything. Okay. So let's just listen to this video and listen to how you can tell now that you can tell now that this guy is understanding what I've been saying, and he's come to the realization what I was telling you guys over a year ago.
I don't even know. I don't know how much longer this can go on for. Like, why the fuck are we settling Afghans in the UK? Nearly 25,000 Afghans have just been snuck into the country by the government at the cost to us, the British taxpayer, yeah? Afghans that the local councils have admitted were prioritised above our own homeless veterans. Veterans were being left on the streets purposefully so that Afghans and their dependents and their extended family, one family, yeah, 15 people, that is going to cost over the course of their lifetime £4.4 million to the UK taxpayer. One family. And this is the thing, that's just one family. 24,000 of them have been snuck in. They're not coming here, they're already here. They've been snuck in, they're sitting on benefits, they're sat at home. We're paying their food, their medical costs, their dental costs, their educational need. We're paying to clothe them, to house them. We're paying so that they can go on trips out to the zoo. And how has this happened? Well, because one person in a position of power has fucked up yet again, apparently. This has all happened because of one mistake. There were leaked documents. It's definitely not by design. So how could it all have happened? Well, the government knew that they fucked up. They knew that this one person had fucked up. So what did they do? They decided to covertly move 24,000 Afghans into the UK and house them secretly. The government then put a super injunction in place so that people weren't allowed to discuss it. Well, that's now been lifted. The news has been broken, and what are people doing? Fuck all. We wonder why there's a housing shortage. We wonder why the NHS is crumbling. We wonder why our police forces nationwide are solving 4% of...
Guys, if you're joining for the first time, we are listening right now to the guy who I think is the guy who set up the Great National British Protest, the Great British National Protest. He's starting to wake up now, ladies and gentlemen. He's starting to wake up, and I think he started his journey bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. He's wanting to do all this good stuff, and you know what, guys? Fair play to him. But what he doesn't understand is the underlying structure, guys, to all these problems.
Crime. 96% of crime goes unsolved in the UK currently. Our priorities are absolutely fucked. I don't care about being called a racist. I do not care anymore. I don't care if these fucktard lefties are reposting my videos. Oh, look at him, he's a racist. I'm not a racist, yeah? This just isn't viable. It's not doable. Maybe the trolls are right. Maybe they've been right all along. Maybe protests aren't going to work.
Boom. There we are, guys, okay? So, you know, people, he's calling, like, those people who say protests are not going to work, they're not trolls. Like, I'm not a troll by saying protests are not going to work, because they're not. Like, we can protest, guys, until we are blue in the face. We can have a 1 million man protest in London. We can have a 2 million man protest. We can have a 50 million man protest in London. As long as the rich keep getting rich, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change absolutely nothing, guys. Absolutely nothing. But what we have right now in the United Kingdom, oh, look, guys, I need to caveat this again. All right? I am pro-police, I'm pro-military, I'm pro-government. Yeah, I said it, guys, I'm pro-government. I'm pro-police because I think we need a strong rule of law. I think people need to respect the laws need to be enforced, and people need to, the law needs to be applied equally to everyone. Doesn't matter if you don't understand the law or not. Like, imagine playing football, right? Imagine you're playing football, all right, and you pick the ball up and throw it in the net, and then the referee says, no, it's handball, you can't have that. And he says, oh, but mister, I'm sorry, I don't know rules of this football game. I'm sorry. And he says, oh, didn't you know the rules? No. He didn't know the rules, guys. Yeah, well, just let that goal in. Let that goal in. What? That's not the rules. Doesn't matter if you know the rules or not. All right, trust me. All right, that's not how law works. So, you know, I want a police force and I want a legal system that's equal to everyone. I abide by the law. I pay my taxes. I want a military. I want a strong military. I want a feared military. I want a powerful military. I want a strong government. I want a strong and fair government. I want a government that say they're going to do X, Y, and Z before they get elected. Then once they get elected, they do X, Y, and Z. So I'm pro-police, guys. I'm pro-military. I'm pro, you know, government. But I just have to be very critical about what we have at the moment, guys, because it does look like we are heading down a dark path. Unfortunately, guys, we are heading down a very, very dark path at the moment. And the outcome of this, guys, is going to be an insurgency. It's going to be a nation. It's going to be a national insurgency. Because when these people, you know, all these thousands of people that go to these protests and they think we've achieved nothing, we've done nothing, we've done nothing. Then they're going to take it to the next step. They're going to think, right, who are these politicians who are voting against us? And that's where it goes, guys. Every circumstance, every country that is going through what we're going through right now, guys, every country that is going through what we're going through has gone through these phases, right? People will understand that people will understand that protesting does nothing, and they will naturally think, right, protesting is doing nothing. I'm going to try and get my hand. I'm going to try and put pressure on a politician themselves. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do that, and I just, guys, honestly, I just hope nobody gets hurt. Grumbling grunts. Let me get some comments, guys. Let me get some comments because chat's open. Grumbling grunts. Oh, hang on. Right, sorry. So Steve is saying, do you know which caravan park has been bought? I think so. Right, Steve, when I'm talking about this is non-confirmed yet. This is non-confirmed. And for those guys who don't know, I was talking to a friend earlier. They said that caravan park's been bought. They're going to put the rent up 25%, and then they're going to offer everyone a low ball offer for their caravans. And then when people leave, they're going to put migrants in. I think this is called Seven Oaks. I think it's seven. I think it might be Seven Oaks. It's in Lincolnshire. It's called. It might not be called Seven Oaks, but I think it's called Seven Oaks in Lincolnshire. I might be way off on that, guys. I will get back to you on that, Steve. Grumbling Grunts is saying, do you foresee British troops peacekeeping in the UK, i.e. patrolling the streets, bolstering our police force? Yes, I do, but the manpower is ridiculously low. What I also see happening is the implementation of private security companies, guys. I do think private security companies are going to be brought in to bolster the police, guys. Ollie97 is saying, hey, Sean, have you seen the old skinny Bob Alien? Is that Alien from the 40s? No, I've not seen the Bob Skinny old Alien footage from the 40s. I've not. Knots is saying it was on ITV News. I sent it to you, buddy. Knots, what are you talking about there, Knots? Knots, are you talking about the caravan parks there, or are you talking about something else? Lex is saying King's granddad didn't let the king of Russia in, but ours let millions in. Yeah, it's bonkers, isn't it? And then Troy Bryan is saying, what's happening on the 19th of July? I would say there's a lot of stuff happening on the 19th of July, guys. So on the 19th of July, there is hang on. So on the 19th of July, so first of all, guys, on the 19th of July, there is a protest on Dover Beach. KT here, hang on, let me pin this. KT here is saying they have been putting migrants in caravans in Skegness for the last 2-3 years. Wow, guys, listen, I didn't realize this. I genuinely didn't realize this. Thank you, KT, for letting us know. KT, do you live in that area? But look, KT is saying which I'm assuming is short for Katie. They have been putting migrants in caravans in Skegness for at least 2 to 3 years. That is bonkers, guys. Like I said, you know, a friend phoned me up earlier. They said, Sean, I've just been told that international investors bought the caravan park. They're going to put the rents up 25%. Make everybody lowball offers on their caravans and put migrants in. KT is saying this has been happening. Now, listen, guys, I'm behind on this. KT is saying this has been happening in Skegness for 2 to 3 years. Absolutely insane. So let me ask you, riddle me this, riddle me that, Batman. Do you guys feel that those caravan parks are safe to take your kids? You know, because I know a lot of people go to the caravan at the weekend, you know, you like bank holidays and stuff. You go there, you chill out, you maybe have a few, you know, have a few beverages. You know, you let your kids play out. Do you still feel safe, letting your kids play in those caravan parks? Craig is saying people don't respect the police, so private security won't stand a chance. The problem here is, Craig, when people come in force, you know, like, what are you going to do? How is that going to develop? You see where I'm going with this, guys? You know, how is that going to develop? Right, I'm jumping down, guys. There's loads of comments. I'm jumping down, loads of comments. Hang on. Tom is saying, calm before the storm, 50 days, Russia. Listen, guys, we have days left. If you live in the United Kingdom right now, we literally have days left. And what I'm suggesting everybody does right now, guys, listen, you know, you've got people online asking for your money. They want you to make a donation. They want you to do this. They need money. They need financing. They need you to register. They need blah, blah, blah. Guys, look, I don't want any of that. And I'm going to tell you what you can do right now to secure your living space. Control the access and egress. If I had thirty seconds, guys, to tell and somebody was saying, Sean, you're about to leave. Tell us how can we secure our location? I would say secure your access and egress points. Now, guys, look, it doesn't matter where you live. You will have key access roads, okay? And this is what people need to start thinking about doing now, guys, because I do believe from the bottom of my heart, I do believe we're going to see a situation this year where the police lose control. We already kind of saw it last year in Har Hills. Now, I don't know what levels of violence we're about to see. I really don't, guys. I hope we don't see any. I genuinely do. What I would say is, if you want to protect yourself, you need to control those access and egress routes. So wherever you live right now, guys, try and visualize where you live. Try and visualize where you live, the roads around your area. There'll be a few roads that you can close off, and that will massively restrict access, and then you will only have maybe 1 or 2 main roads. That's kind of the thing that you need to be thinking of right now. Because if we're talking, guys, and honestly, the more we move forwards in time, the more likely I think this is going to be. People are going to have to come together in your local communities, and you're going to have to block roads. You're going to have to put your own checkpoints out there. You're going to have to man them with people from that community. And what I'll say is, those communities need to man those checkpoints themselves. Don't let people from outside your community, and I mean this like with the best will in the world, guys, okay? I mean this with the best will in the world. If you don't live in that community, I don't think you should be, I think, you know, what I'm getting at here is, if people want to come and reinforce you and say, oh, we'll help you out on these checkpoints, don't let them, guys, okay? You don't know who you're letting in. Only let the people, just imagine now, guys, imagine, if you will, a housing estate somewhere. Imagine a housing estate, right, somewhere. Think about the roads going into that housing estate and out of it. And again, listen, guys, a lot of the housing estates that are getting built at the moment only have one entrance and one exit. That's sounding alarm bells to me, guys. That is alarm bell territory for me, because that means that when they were being built, they were being built with control in mind. But look, guys, you need to use that to your advantage. So if you live on a housing estate with one access road, that's absolutely fine. What I would suggest doing is giving some serious thought that if we have like a SHTF situation in the United Kingdom and we've got marauding gangs driving around in pickup trucks, swinging stuff around the air, you want to control that entry and exit point, because if you control the entry and exit point, you're providing security to the inside. And 9 times out of 10, guys, okay, these people that are driving around, these, they're not looking. They're looking for the easy target. Think about a lion, guys. Think about a lion. A lion doesn't go and take on the biggest, the biggest, strongest, fastest gazelle. A lion will always take the weakest gazelle, the one that's injured. It's like limping at the back with a gammy leg. That's the way of the jungle, guys. Okay, these predators, they will take on the weak people. They will take on the weakness. They will go and exploit that weakness. Show no weakness. And this is what people need to start thinking about, guys. Okay, people really need to start thinking about that, and and controlling that access and egress roads to your location. And that means controlling them from the police as well. I don't think the police would have a problem with that, guys. Like, I've been thinking about this in my head. I'm not sure what law would be applicable. I'm not sure what law would be applicable if people, like, say that you're on a housing estate, and this is the best way to secure your location. Like, if you live on a housing estate, I would say, I don't know what laws are in place, guys, to prevent that from happening. From neighborhood watch, because this is what we call it. We call it neighborhood watch. From neighborhood watchers monitoring people going in and out of that estate. I don't know what laws would be there, guys. If you're a legitimate organization, get yourself a Facebook page. I don't know. Shady Pines Neighborhood Watch Association group. Get yourself a Facebook page. Get everyone on your estate on that Facebook page or whatever page it is, and you just try and give yourselves a bit of legitimacy. Paying people, I always struggle, guys, when we talk about paying people. I do, guys. I always, like, when you introduce money to things. You introduce corruption, guys, each and every time. Debbie Doobs is saying she's in a caravan in Mablethorpe at the moment as we speak. Look, guys, Debbie Doobs has got a little bug out spot. Debbie Doobs has got a bug out spot. Steve is saying, yes, they have closed. Right, Steve, are you talking about the caravan park? Right, let me pin this, guys. Listen, guys, we're getting real-time information here. We're getting real-time intelligence. Steve, are you saying that the Seven Oaks Caravan, I think it's called the Seven Oaks Caravan Park, is saying, yes, they have closed various sites down and put security on the gates. Is this real time now, guys? Is this real world? Have we just gone to real world? Are you confirming that, Steve? Steve, can you let me know, mate? There's a lot of comments, and I may miss your comment if you've put it up, guys. If you put it up, Steve. But Steve, okay, Steve. Right, hang on, guys. We're getting real-time information. Guys, listen, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on X, right, oh, yes, Seven Lakes. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it is Seven Lakes. I do apologize. Right, guys, listen. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much. Right, guys, listen. Earlier on, I got a phone call from my friend. He's got a caravan at Seven Lakes in Lincolnshire, all right? Now, he phoned me up. He said to me, Sean, I don't know how much truth's in this, mate, but I've just been told that the caravan park has been sold or is getting sold to an international investor. They're going to put the rent up 25%, make people lowball offers on their caravans, and then move migrants in. Now, Steve here he obviously knows what he's talking about, because I didn't know it was 7 lakes. I thought it was 7 oaks, but it is definitely 7 lakes now, because there's lake. Yeah, it is definitely 7 lakes. And Steve is saying, yes, that is definitely happening. He says it's the 7 oaks in Lincolnshire, he believes. He says they've sold some sites, they've closed them down, and they've got security on them. So, like, where do we go with that, guys? Where do we go? Where do we go with that, guys? Listen, I gave you guys some information. I didn't know whether it was true. You guys are on the ground. You guys have confirmed it to me. So it does look like now that the government are putting, and can you see how this goes, guys? Like an international, hang on, guys. I've just got an update on the Afghan thing from a really important source. Give me a second. Right, I can't tell you who this is from. Hang on, sorry guys, this is really important. So I asked a friend he's well within the know in this sphere, guys. I asked him what happened with the Afghan. Hang on, guys. I'm just trying to scan through this to let you, because there's some stuff I can't read. So I asked him what happened. What's his thoughts on the Afghan super injunction and case? He's put. I'm missing quite a bit out here, guys. What he's put: massive embarrassment for the country. Nobody will trust us anymore. He's put some other stuff down here. I can't repeat, but I guess as a country now, this goes back to. I'm going to keep talking to him, guys. I'll get you guys a better update. But because he mentioned it, guys, I'll come back onto the migrants in the caravan sites. We talked about becoming a low trust society. And a low trust country. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And this is just it now, guys. Like, do we think the Americans are going to trust us now? Do you think the Americans are going to trust us now? I don't know. Right, okay, guys, just a couple of comments quite a few comments actually over on YouTube. Quite a few people over on YouTube saying, yes, Sean, it is 7 lakes, guys. So it is 7 lakes. Yeah, guys, look, I must be late to this game. I didn't realize quite a few of you guys over on YouTube are commenting saying, yes, it's happening. It's happening on 7 lakes in northeast. Is it north? I think it's northeast Lincolnshire. 7 lakes in northeast Lincolnshire, guys. I'm hearing now from multiple sources that 7 lakes, northeast Lincolnshire, has been sold to international investors. Those international investors are putting in migrants. Listen, guys, we have days left. We really do, guys. We have days left. Do this now, okay? Try and look wherever you live, identify the access and the egress points. Get your young men out there and say to them, you guys are going to have to go and man a checkpoint or something. Stand there with some cones in the middle of the road and only let people in that are registered or something. Go around the estate, give people little vehicle passes through the windows or something. So when people are coming in, they know where they're going. And look, guys, because the other day we was at a park. I need to be careful with what I'm saying here, guys, okay? The other day, we went out with the kids, and there was a park, all right? And we drove past it, and the girls are like, oh, can we go to the park? Can we go to the park? I'm like, yeah, you know what it's like when you're with the kids, and you give them an answer like, oh, let's have a think about it in a bit, and hopefully they'll forget. Anyway, they were nagging about the park, so I was like, right, okay, do you know what? We'll go. So I walked to this park with the girls. They were on the swings and what have you. And then I walked, there was a little shop. So I saw a little shop in this housing estate. So I walked to this shop. And when I came back, I was questioned by a man. and he was saying, how do I know these girls? And I was like, I was a little bit offended at first. I was like, I was ready to throw hands. But when I understood what he was actually getting at, he said, look, we've had people of certain demographics turn up to this park and try and approach the girls that are playing on the park. So, we know the police are not going to help us, so we're taking things in our own hands. And I was like, wow. I said, mate, honestly, that is absolutely sterling. I didn't want to make a video or anything because I didn't want to put him on the spot. But, you can see the direction now of people, the direction of travel. But what I'm getting at here is that these housing estates that are all over the United Kingdom, if you control the access and egress points, guys, it's very difficult for people to come in because, listen, believe me, all right, the chavs that drive around in the cars, they're not going to get out and walk very far. They don't like doing hard work. They like driving. They like eating chicken and stuff. Anyway, let me get some more of these comments, guys. Let me get some more of these comments. Joanne788 is saying, reading on Google, councils have entered many tenders, one being Clacton. Desert is saying, what do you think these are all going to do? Would the Queen let this happen, says Lex. Listen, didn't we just fall? Didn't we all just feel something when the Queen died? Didn't we? Didn't we all feel something when the Queen died? I can't even spend money now, guys, if it's got the other head on it. If it's got Charlie Boy's head on it, I'm like, oh, do I have to? Can I not get another one? Martin Quinn is saying the now making it so buffing unusual. Hang on, what does this mean? The now making it so unusual and you are gluten. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means if I'm gluten. I would say I'm gluten free. What is gluten? I don't know. I mean, Martin Quinn is saying I'm gluten. Martin Quinn 06. I don't know whether that's an insult or whether that's like some sort of code word for something. Is that an anagram? Gluten? Is that? I don't know what that means, buddy. I don't know what it means to call somebody gluten. I mean, I can think of better things. I can certainly think of worse things. Enlightened and Wakened Soul is saying, wonder what timescale we have to activate the sleepers, cause chaos so they can roll out CBDC. So listen, the comment here is rolling out CBDC, but I think they're already talking about rolling out digital ID. So Singer Mama is right. Okay, meant to say I'm glitching. Right, I don't know what this means, guys. I don't know what this means. Am I glitching for anyone else? Right. So look, guys. The government are already talking about rolling out digital IDs. Let me just get this real quick. Digital ID. So here we are, guys. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to your hats. Get your kitten in the litten. Get your kitten. What is it? I don't know. Digital ID cards would help to deter migrants from heading to the UK. So there we are, guys. If we all get a digital ID, that's going to help with migration. And then because all the migrants won't be able to have a digital ID, I don't know, guys. I just think it's a swizzle, guys. I think it's a swizzle. I think these digital IDs, every time I see digitalization, I mean, I was in, earlier on, we went to Morrison's, and walking down the aisle now in Morrison's, you know how they have like the big TV monitors that like show the CCTV cameras, like kind of a deterrent to show people they're on CCTV? Oh no, it's worse than that, guys. They've literally got facial recognition on you now. My little girl, she says, Daddy, Why is there a red square around our faces? I said, oh, that's facial recognition. It's high-end, it's high-spec military software, probably run by Palantir. But anyway, guys, it's all bonkers what's going on right now. Let me just give some more, let me get some more context here, guys. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us for the first time, and you've just got on, what I mean by I should have said this at the beginning of the stream. I totally forgot. What I'm meaning by we only have days left. We only have days left before the start of the summer holidays. The start of the summer holidays, guys, that is when we are going to see the uptick. That's when we're going to see the uptick because people are going to be off school. Mums and dads are going to be off work. Nice weather. People going to the pub. People having garden parties. People having barbecues with what money they've got left. And this is how these things fester. We've already seen the direction, guys. We've already seen the direction that this is traveling. Debbie Doobs is saying, do most kids finish on Friday? I know that kids, I know you live relatively close to me, Debbie, but kids around here, yes, I think they finish on Friday. I think some are finish on Wednesday, but it's basically, it's this week kids are finishing school. So yeah, it is coming, guys. It is coming. Yeah, so Cinnamon Girl, right, Cinnamon Girl, we were talking about Lincolnshire, yeah, so Cinnamon Girl. Cinnamon Girl here is saying, Cherry Cinnamon Girl, actually. Cherry Cinnamon Girl Cherry is saying, did you say something happened in Lincolnshire? Yes, Northeast Lincolnshire, guys, there has been an update from myself on Northeast Lincolnshire. So I got a phone call earlier on from my friend. He says, Sean, I've just come down to the caravan. I've just been told that the caravan site has been sold to international investment companies. They're closing it down. They're going to put the rent up and they're going to stick migrants in. I didn't know if it was true. I didn't know if it's true. I put this out as a general question to everybody. I've had a lot of people on TikTok saying, yes, it's true. I've seen it myself. A lot of people on YouTube saying, yes, it's true. So do you know what, guys? I think it may be, you know, I think it may be true. Martin Quinn is saying, making armoured vehicles for West Yorkshire Police. Guys, look, the armoured police vehicles, they're not going to last 2 minutes. They're really not, guys, okay? And what people, like, this, guys, honestly, it astounds me. What people are forgetting is the sheer scale. You know, when we talk, I mean, I've not talked about the conflict in Ukraine for so long because we've got a conflict brewing here right now. And I was talking to my friend, one of my good friends in Ukraine, and he was saying, he said, Sean, listen, you know, we get bombed almost every night. There's drones coming over, there's explosions, there's cruise missiles. He says, but I couldn't imagine living among the people who want to do me harm. You know, the Ukrainians, they've got like a sense of community and a sense of pulling together. Right here, guys, in the United Kingdom, we are fractured. And look, guys, the solution to all of this, is local. The solution is local, all right? Where I was going with that. When I talk about the coming conflicts being on an industrial scale, in the context that the wars that have been fought not previously, the wars that we've, I'm talking about Iraq and Afghanistan, maybe Sierra Leone, Iraq, Afghanistan, Sierra Leone, maybe even Somalia to some extent, even the Falklands, I guess. You know, these were limited operations. These were special special forces operations where you use highly mobile infantry to move in, to take ground, to hold ground, to push the bad guys back. What we're heading to now in Europe is an absolute on an industrial scale. Industrial scale. And people don't understand the numbers of this, the sheer numbers, the sheer manufacturing capacity that's going to be needed. And a conflict like Afghanistan is a special forces conflict. You use small teams of men. By small teams, I mean maybe like 100 guys at a time. I know that doesn't sound like a small team, but it is. So you use small teams of guys to go in behind enemy lines, you disrupt the bad guys, you take out the headshed, and the rest of the military moves in. And that's kind of how you get that momentum. The conflicts that are brewing now in Europe are on an industrial scale. So that would mean that sort of stuff ain't going to matter. What's going to matter is how quickly production to countries, how quickly they can get stuff from their factories to the front line and used. That's what's going to matter. And most of this, guys, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but just the way it is going to boil down to gunpowder. Forget your data chips and your little gadgets. It's all going to boil down to gunpowder, guys. Ultimately, it's going to boil down to gunpowder. And there's only so many companies that can make gunpowder at the correct, what's it called? What grain? Is it grain? Is it grain gunpowder? I think it is the correct grain. Anyway. When I'm talking about civil unrest in the United Kingdom, and guys, listen, if you've just joined us for the first time, we only have a few days left. And what I'm saying is to do this now, check your access and egress points, okay? If I had one piece of advice to give people, and this is free advice, guys, it's free advice, check your access and egress point. Think about closing roads. Think about putting checkpoints up, because when it happens, guys, it's going to happen quick. But when I talk about civil unrest in the United Kingdom, it's on a national scale right now, guys. It's on a national scale. I'm not talking like 30 people against 30 people. I'm talking about millions of people against millions of people. So West Yorkshire Police have just bought a couple of armored vehicles. Nice. What are they going to do? Like somebody's going to slash the tires and it's going to be game over. Somebody's going to put sugar in the fuel tank. It's game over. We are talking, guys, now about an insurgency in the we're talking about an insurgency now, guys, in the United Kingdom that's about to pop off. And I don't think there's any way back, guys. I really don't. I don't think there's any way back. Right, guys, I'm going to jump down on TikTok. So many comments on TikTok, guys. So, right, guys, listen, I do apologize if I'm missing anybody's comments. I really do. Grumbling Grunts is saying, I'm going to have to bug out, Sean. Keep low, move fast. I will do, buddy. Thank you so much. Martin Quinn is saying, my uncle was in D Squadron in the Falklands. He always told us, never trust anybody. That's quite right. Quite right. Never trust anybody. Listen, guys, I only trust myself, and that's 50-50 at best. Lisa says, Google why the animals are moving out. The animals? Google why? I don't know what that means. What animals? Why is he acting like Europe is Afghanistan? Somewhere 4T is saying, guys, listen, I don't know if people are trying to, troll me or anything, but if you're going to guys, listen, if you're putting your comments and it's directed at me, try and articulate it, because I might not see your previous comments. And by the time I get to your comment, I may be talking about something different. So it's difficult to understand what we're talking about. Welsh Warriors is saying Russia, 2 to 3 tanks a month. The rest of the world, 18. Yeah. So this is what we're talking about, guys. Okay. Industrial conflicts need industry. And unfortunately, and I'll tell you, we're going to see scandals like this in the United Kingdom, guys. We are going to see scandals in the context that it will come to a stage where we can't get kit and equipment to our soldiers on the front line. and somebody will investigate that, and it will come down to something ridiculous, like the man who packs the kit in the boxes has to be secret cleared. And there was only one guy at that time who could pack the boxes and had secret clearance. So, you know, Factory X had all the stuff there lined up, but because of bureaucracy, nobody could put that in the boxes. Something like that, guys. Something stupid is going to come out like that, you know. And I know how these factories work, guys. They have destroyed themselves with red tape. Do you know who haven't destroyed themselves with red tape? Mother Russia. We don't bother about health and safety and red tape. Oh, hang on. So some, I don't know what this is. He's saying, hang on. You're saying communities divided is harder than bombs over your head. You're saying, I don't know what that means. Okay, what I'm saying is people in Ukraine would rather have the situation that they're in now rather than the situation that we're in now. That's what I'm saying. What do we think about Trump and Epstein? Be interesting to hear your take on it. So I think Elon Musk got it right, guys. I would refer you to Elon Musk's comments on it. Look, guys, I was 50-50 with Elon Musk. I was, guys. You know, there's a lot of data points that are quite scary about Elon Musk. His company Neuralink, if you put that in the Greek numerical matrix or something, the word Neuralink is equal to 666. All right, that's the reality. You know, so I had a few question marks about Elon Musk, but I genuinely think he's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. He's in the lion's den. He's in the viper's den. He knows what's around him. He's thinking, and this is my perception. He's thinking, right, if I'm in here, I can do something. I can have influence. I'll have to do some bad stuff. I'll have to witness some bad stuff. I'll have to see some bad stuff happening. But as long as I'm here, oh, by the beard of Zeus. By the beard of Zeus. Guys, give me a second. Right, guys, I've just come to something. Right? Have you guys seen that? Guys, look, I don't know how dark do you want to go down this rabbit hole right now? How dark do you want to go down this rabbit hole right now, guys? How far do you want to go down it? Wow. Guys, this has just come to me. Oh, by the beard of Zeus. By the beard of Zeus. By the beard of... Oh, it's even worse. It gets worse. Right. I need to back this up first, guys. You know the thing that elites are accused of that happens with kids? And you know, if you follow that rabbit hole, you come to a really, really dark place and you think, nah, that can't be true. You know what I'm talking about, right? I watched a video and somebody had documented the amount of ridiculously famous, yes, Debbie do. The amount of ridiculously famous people who have lost their first child, all right? If you then look at some practices in Haitian voodoo, you start to know where I'm going, guys, don't you? You know where I'm going. I've got a talking code, guys. I've got a talking code. And then there's now, guys, there's a movie scene. There's a scene on a movie. It's Avengers Endgame or something, and Thanos. He has to come and get one of the gems, and they say, look, you've got to, if you destroy the thing you love, we'll grant you unlimited power. And then Thanos throws his daughter down Gamora or something, and he throws Gamora into the thing. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah? You know what I'm talking about, yeah? When I was just talking then, I remembered that Elon Musk lost one of his children. I didn't realize. I'm just going to read this. Elon Musk and his then wife, Justine Wilson's first child, Nevada Alexander Musk, died in 2002 at 10 weeks old due to sudden infant death syndrome. Not suspicious? Not suspicious? No? Not suspicious to anyone? Guys, this is a dark rabbit hole. This is a dark rabbit hole, guys. You know, I've just come to this revelation with you guys in real time. I'm gonna have to look into that more, guys. I'm gonna have to look into that more. I still think what I said about Elon was right. I'm not gonna go back on that, but wow, listen, it's unbelievable, guys. You know, this is a dark rabbit hole. Right, guys, I kind of want to get away from this real quick. I want to get away, guys, so I'm going to jump onto some... The Afters, thank you, The Afters. The Afters is saying, what's happening to the geopolitical chats? Thank you, The Afters. Thank you so much for getting us back on track. Thank you for getting me... Okay, I don't know. So hang on. I'm going to pin this comment here, and I'm going to say I don't know. I don't know what this comment is here, and I'm just going to leave it there, guys. I'm just going to leave it there because this is absolutely bonkers. Anyway, right, guys, listen. Let's get back, okay? Let's get back on track. So the United Kingdom, guys, okay, we only have days left in the United Kingdom to prepare yourselves for the summer holidays. Now, I know it's bonkers saying that we have to prepare ourselves for the summer holidays. I think there's going to be more protests at the Bell Hotel in Epping tomorrow. On Saturday in Dover, there's going to be another protest on Dover Beach. But moving forward, guys, okay, like everybody can feel the powder keg that we're in at the moment. Geopolitically, things are not much better. Donald Trump now, and again, I mean, listen, guys, Donald Trump has played an absolute blinder. Okay, Donald Trump has played an absolute blinder with this, with this arms deal to the Europeans, and then the Europeans are going to get those munitions and give them to Ukraine. Look, guys, the situation in Ukraine is, I mean, it's not getting... Can we all remember when people said Donald Trump's going to come in and he's going to 24 hours, he's going to take him 24 hours and he's going to, hang on. Yeah, 24 hours, he's going to have a peace deal in Ukraine and everything's going to be fine. Well, it turns out he's just given him another 50 days to do something. So it doesn't, to me anyway, look like anything's happening. There was a conversation between, there was an alleged conversation between Donald Trump and President Zelensky. And in that conversation, Donald Trump's supposed to have said, can you strike Moscow? And Zelensky said, yes, if you give us the weapons. Look, guys, I think it's fake news. Whether it happened or not, it's kind of a non-article because the Ukrainians have been doing that anyway. The Ukrainians have got their own capacity to do that. Striking Moscow doesn't really have a military, there's no real military objectives there. You know, you need to take out air defenses, you need to take out airfields, you need to take out, manufacturing facilities. So there was a lot of hype over it, but I don't really think it was, I think it was a little bit of a fake news. Now, coming back to this, the Afghan super injunction, and it is, guys, it's an absolute scandal. There's no other words around it, guys. It's an absolute scandal. Now, I've just got. I'm gonna have to speak to him later. I can't talk to him now. I've just had a word off one of my friends who's who's in the know with this, and he's saying that this scandal has lost Britain all credibility, guys. And I didn't actually consider that. So Britain now on the global stage, like Britain on a global stage now, how can Britain be trusted, guys? Like, how can Britain be how can the Americans trust the British? Hey Britain, we've got some secret information here. Can we share it with you? Oh, yes, of course. Give it to David Lammy. I mean, honestly, it'd end up on some sort of like Palestinian website or something. So Britain on the world stage now, guys. Unfortunately, I think we've lost credibility with this Afghan scandal. It is, guys. The numbers involved are absolutely phenomenal, and I will say now what I said yesterday, guys. I'll put my hand up, right? I will put my hand up, and I will say I got it wrong. You guys were sending me messages, and quite a lot of you were doing this, and I was answering the messages individually, saying I think it's unlikely. I'll be quite open about it, guys. I got this one wrong. You guys were saying, Sean, are foreign soldiers being imported by the government? And I was saying, no, that's not happening, guys. That's impossible because of the height of the conspiracy. But it turns out you guys were right, and I was wrong. So with that now, guys, let's take a step back and look at this now. Britain is a powder keg. It's a powder keg. We've lost credibility on a world stage. Britain has lost credibility on the world. I feel Britain's lost credibility on a world stage. So take a step back. Britain has now lost credibility on the world stage. We're a powder keg. We will have, and let's not forget, guys, the elephant in the room here, near-peer adversaries fanning these flames, which you will get, guys. You will get right now near-peer adversaries, or peer adversaries are fanning the flames. So right now, in whatever camp you're thinking about, you'll have bad people over here, and they'll be saying, right, you guys fan the flame of the left wing in the UK. You guys fan the flame of the right wing in the UK. And they'll be fanning those flames. Guys, listen, we are, honestly, a tiny spark at the moment, and we are swizzled. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to keep going over this, guys, okay? We only have days left, all right, until the summer holidays start. When those summer holidays start, expect an uptick, guys, in hostilities, guys, okay? Expect an uptick in hostilities. Kids are off school, mums and dads are off school, people are drinking, people are having a good time in beer gardens, having barbecues and stuff. Kids will be kids. They're going to go to these hotels, guys. They'll get together in groups, they'll be throwing stones, and that's how it's going to start, guys. That is how it will start. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I've done this as much as I should have done on this live stream. But if you're watching right now, can you do me a favor, guys? If you're watching on TikTok, can you hit the buttons up there? If you're watching on YouTube, because we are triple streaming, guys, we're triple streaming. I keep forgetting to tell everybody we are triple streaming today. I'm going to jump over to YouTube comments in a minute, guys. We're triple streaming. We're streaming on TikTok, we're streaming on YouTube, and we are streaming on X. We're doing it all, guys. We are doing it all at the same stream. Can you show your support, guys, on all the platforms, please? Can you please do that? It's just a little button for you, but it really helps us out. And do you know what, guys? Listen, as we're moving to these crazy times, I hope that we can come together as a community, and I can give you guys as much advice as I can. But listen, okay? If you take nothing away from this live stream, guys, if you take nothing away from this live stream right now, control your access and egress points, control your entry points. Now, if you live in an estate somewhere, if you live out in the countryside, it doesn't really matter where you live. Try and think about it as a thought experiment. Think, right, okay, if I wanted to control access to my sphere of influence, and if you go with like Dunbar's number, which is like, what's Dunbar's number? Is it 165? 160? I might be way out. I think Dunbar's number is 160 or something. Call it 165. If you want to know what your area is, just think, where do 160 people live around me? And that's your area. Unless you live in like a semi-rural location like us, and then it's like, that doesn't work. But just think, guys, right? If you needed to close roads off and maybe close all the roads off that lead into your location, because, you know, you get roads and they're like, hang on, can I show you what's written on here? Oh, definitely not. No, definitely not. But if you get like, what I'm saying is, guys, you know, you might get roads and they're feeder roads. And if you close the main road, you close all the feeder roads as well. That's what I'm talking about. So everybody now needs to think about how to protect their own area, because I think at some point in the United Kingdom this summer, we're going to have scenes where the police have lost control of certain areas, and then those certain areas are going to be ridiculously vulnerable. And I think that people are just going to have to take their own security in their own hands. I'm going to get the final comments here, guys. I'm going to get the final comments here on YouTube, TikTok. I do apologize. Guys, if I'm missing anyone's comments. I've got the chat open, so it is a bit wild tonight. Coral Reed is saying, keep tapping, y'all. The afters saying it depends if the I don't know what the afters is referring to there. I don't know what the afters is referring to, but he's saying it depends if the. Oh, thank you guys for the gifts. Lots of people sending. Jody Lee sent lots of shields. April Lee, singing Mama. Sharon Owen, Artful Knots. That sounds fun. What is Artful Knots? Is that like a company or something? Katie, Jules, Colette, Gemini Blessings, Swoosh, Jenny Lees, Jo Masse Po, Coral Reefing, Jody Lee. Guys, thank you so much for all the gifts, guys. I really do appreciate them. The alien pet, the best pet I could have, an alien pet. And Gareth is saying, breaking news, a massive fire on the stage of Tomorrowland Music Festival has cancelled. Tomorrowland Music Festival. Look, guys, fires, all right? Fires burn things down, all right? Fires are very easy to start, especially with the weather like this, you know. And last year, in fact, on my YouTube, I did a video last year, maybe even the year before. I don't know. No, it was definitely last year. I think it was last June. I'm pretty sure it was last June sometime. I don't know if you want to look at that. And in that video, I go through the likely sabotage events that we're going to start to see. Fire, guys. It's so easy to do. So easy. Everything burns. You can burn fields, you can burn substations, you can burn music venues, you can burn anything, you know. We already know from the mainstream media in the United Kingdom that, well, let me just read this because I don't want to get done for fake news, guys. Hang on. Russia and Iran trying to recruit British school children. British school children recruited by Russia and Iran to spy against the UK. Children investigating over Russia and Iranian plots. So we know that this is happening, guys. You know, we know that people are being contacted. You know, we know that near-peer adversaries are trying to recruit people. And I would say guys, is my opinion, my speculation, my analysis. I would say that also with that, there's a likelihood of, I mean, let's just face it, guys. What do we think? Do we think they're using this in migrant hotels? Do we think they're recruiting from migrant hotels? I don't know, guys. I've got no opinion on this. The question is, do we think, I'm going to read you this again, guys, so I need to be very careful because I'm skirting here on getting banned, all right? I'm skirting here on getting the live stream banned, okay? So I'm not saying anything. I'm asking a question, okay? Now, With this knowledge from the mainstream media, I'm going to read you these headlines from The Guardian. Children investigated over Russia and Iranian plots. Telegraph. Russia and Iran trying to recruit British school children. The Sun. British school children recruited by Russia and Iran. I can go on. So keeping that in mind, do you guys, you there, do you guys think that anyone is trying to recruit migrants from migrant hotels to do stuff? I don't know. I wouldn't have any thoughts on this, guys. I wouldn't have any opinions. I'm asking a question, okay? Right, guys, listen, we did have some breaking news today, guys, okay? A good friend of mine phoned me up earlier on. They said, Sean, I've just been to my caravan, and I've been told from the people at the caravan park that the caravan park has just been, or is getting sold by an international investor. They're going to put the rent up to everyone. They're going to put the rent up for everyone, and then they're going to move in migrants. You know, I was quite clear about it. I didn't know what was happening. I did a video on it. I said, look, guys, I'm not 100% sure about this. This is literally just what I've been told. Since I did that live stream, some of you guys have got back to me and you've told me that this is already happening in Skegness. Skegness have already been doing this for 2 to 3 years. So the precedent's already there. Migrants are allegedly, I don't know. You know, this is what you guys are telling me. And then I think it was Steve who came, there was a commenter called Steve, and Steve said, yes, it's called Seven Lakes in northeast Lincolnshire. That is happening. They've already bought part of the caravan site. They've closed it down. They've put security on it, and that is happening. So it does look like this is the move forwards, guys. So turns out that the government are closing down the hotels. They're just putting them in caravan parks. I mean, you know, what's next? What's next, guys? What is next? I mean, how much more are people going to take, guys? You know, and the guy from, the Great British protest, you know, I mean, look, fair play to him. He's trying to do something, but I think he's out of his depth. Oh, God, I hate myself. Right, guys? He is out of his depth. He's trying to do a good thing, but he doesn't understand the depths of the problem, guys. And this is nothing like, you know, this is nothing negative to him or what he's doing, because you can tell he's passionate. You know, when I started business, I was passionate. I was passionate. I was really keen and excited. And, you know, but one of my business mentors said, Sean, nobody cares about how good your product is. People only care about what they can get paid for. And I was like, no, I will develop the best products and it'll be awesome and the best products. He was right. I didn't understand the landscape at that time. And what I'm saying here is, guys, you know, the protests, and I'm not being a troll saying this, I'm being realistic. Protests are not going to solve anything. You think about it. Think about how many people are going to go to Dover on the 19th. They're going to spend their own money. Maybe if they can get a hotel, they'll get one. Might have tents or something. It's going to be a big day out for those people. They're going, but what are they going to achieve? Do you think the boats are going to stop? Do you think Keir Starmer will look and he'll say, "Oh look, there's 2,000 people having a protest on the beach. Yeah, let's stop these boats now." It's not going to happen. So where does that develop into, guys? What does that move towards? What's the next phase? Well, the next phase is those people who are angry. Those people who are angry are going to start to target the politicians. They're going to start to target the police chiefs. They're going to start to target community leaders. They're going to start to target people, councillors. And this is the way it goes, guys. This is literally the way it goes. I mean, when I used to work in Erbil, it was rife. It was rife for it. You know, you'd have one tribe or faction, and their guy, if he didn't get elected, I'm not going to get into that, guys. It was just crackers, guys. You know, it was just crackers. But they're the things that are coming to the United Kingdom, guys. They really are. Look, guys, take away this from the live stream, guys. Okay, guys, if you take away this, guys, okay, we have only got a few days left before the summer holidays. Practice, take note on how to close down or control your access and egress to wherever you live. Wherever you live, guys, you know, think about access and egress. Get your young men out and say, look, you know what, not even your young men, get everyone out, you know. And at some point in the United Kingdom, it may be the case where you may have to close a road down. You may have to put a checkpoint on a road. You know, you may have to say, well, actually, we only want people who live on this housing estate coming in and you don't live here, so we don't want you here. We're not going to open the barrier. You know, that may be the case. And you know what, guys, for those people who do that, more power to you. What I will say on this, guys, but this is kind of like a bit of a conspiracy that I've been talking about for quite a while. Have you noticed how all the new housing estates, certainly where we live, all the new housing estates have one entrance? You know what I'm talking about here, guys, like the new housing estates that are built up, there's one way in and one way out, and it's the same road, basically. That is very easy to control. Now, you need to use that in your advantage, but also if the police or private security wanted to close that, wanted to close that estate down, all they have to do is put one person there and say, yeah, you're not coming in. You're not leaving. You're not allowed to leave. And then nobody will leave. Nobody's going to go and protest. Anyway, right, guys, listen. We are going to close this down now on TikTok. We're going to go over to Darren. Listen, Darren's got a final comment, and I've said this all the time. This country has got really depressing compared to the 90s. Yeah, don't we just wish we could go back in time to the 90s? Weren't that good times? Guys, listen, we're going over to YouTube and X. We're going to close the TikTok down. We can talk a little bit more freely over there. So hopefully we'll be able to talk more about security measures that you guys can put in place. Security measures you guys can. I'm talking national security now. I'm not talking little security where you put a little lock on your door. I'm talking security at scale. I'm talking we are looking like a full-scale civil conflict in the United Kingdom, guys, okay? Join me over on YouTube. Show your support on X, on YouTube, on TikTok. Click all the buttons up here, wherever they are, down below, bell notifications, like, comment, subscribe, all those things, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're watching this, you are the resistance. And we are off, ladies and gentlemen. We are off. I can talk a little bit more freely now, guys. I can talk a little bit more freely. I do want to talk to you guys. I do. I want to talk to you guys about securing your local areas, guys. I do. I really want to talk about that, guys, okay? I want to talk about securing housing estates. I want to talk about securing... I don't really want to talk about securing homes. That's a different thing, and everybody's home is different. Oh, hang on, guys. I just need to click some buttons on the screen. So yeah, I want to talk about that, guys. Okay, and we're talking about national level stuff now. We're not talking about little kiddie stuff. We're not talking about. We're not talking about. We're not talking about. Putting an extra lock on your gate, on your door. We're talking about communities now having to come together at local level. Come together to protect each other, and that's what is and that I think is going to be key. Because, guys, listen, yesterday, and I've said this quite a few times, I believe, and I do, guys, I believe that we are going to have a shake-up of the police service in the United Kingdom. Excuse me, guys, let me just get that out there. I believe we're going to have a shake-up of the police service in the United Kingdom, whereby the police service start to use private security. Those private security that the police are starting to use, they will be made up mainly of migrant men, men that don't speak English as their first language, and these guys will then be subcontracting security. Now, my question is, and again, it could be a lot of these Afghanis as well, guys, it could be a lot of these Afghanis. Now, the question is, where do you think their loyalties lie? Do you think and look, guys, where we live, when I was a kid, we used to live on an estate, and there was like a Tarzan, like a swing. There was a swing, and the police used to come out, and they used to say to us, the police used to come out, and the police used to say, "We've been told that you've got to move. People are complaining that you're here." And the police officers would have a go on the swing, and they'd say, "But we're not telling you because you're just kids, and we're not. I used to come on this swing as a kid, so like." You have that affinity then with the police officers, and you're like, "Oh yeah, thanks," But the police officers say, "But keep the noise down, and make sure you're, I don't know, back when your mums and dads want you back." And that was like the affinity. So those police officers, they may or may not have lived locally, but those police officers came here. They saw kids on a swing, and they looked and they assessed the situation. They thought, well, they're just kids playing. It's a nice summer's day. I'm going to have a go on that swing. It's pretty cool. But let's do a switcheroo now. Same kids playing. Police get called out. Yeah. A private security company turns up. A load of migrant men come out. They've been told to get rid of those kids. How do you think they're going to react? How do you think that's going to go down? How do you think that transaction is going to happen? Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments, guys, if you don't think that's going to happen. Guys, so many comments. Jules Cartwright is saying, "Hey, you okay, mate?" I'm saying, yeah, I am okay. I am okay, mate. I am indeed. Linda Clark is saying hello again. Hello, Linda Clark. Freddie is saying, "Rupert Lowe will donate his full MP salary this month to repair the church in his constituency after it was bad." Look, guys, honestly, to me, Rupert Lowe is the Jeremy Clarkson of politics. I mean, he's so dry. Look, guys, I like Rupert Lowe. I do believe he'd be a good leader for this country. He's saying all the right things, and the good thing of Rupert Lowe, he's uncorruptible. You can't corrupt him. You see where I'm going with this? All these little politicians who've done nothing about them. And this is the argument, this is the argument for people going into politics straight after school when they've done nothing. Because if you've done nothing, we have a lot of politicians that go into politics straight after school, and they've never done anything with their life. Their worldly knowledge is from textbooks. You could read about the Iraq War, you could read about the Afghan War. I lived through it. I can remember the smells and the sounds and the hot nights. My experience of Iraq and Afghanistan will be totally different to what people have read about in a book. But they might have a degree on it and something. So they're the intellects, and they're the ones. You see where I'm going with this, guys? I do like Rupert Lowe, guys. I want to support him as much as I can. Listen, there's not going to be an election in this country for a long ass time. So, whether it's, I don't know, guys. I don't think it's going to be, I just hope he's still around there. Zoe Dean is saying, "How do I secure my street if I live right by one of the main UK motorways? There's literally just a fence separating us from the M6. Okay, so those motorways, you don't really need to worry about that because people are not going to be stopping on those motorways. You're not going to get you're not going to get a group of, you're not going to get a group of 5 chavs. You're not going to get a group of 5 chavs stop on the motorway and then drive into your estate from that motorway. What I'm talking about is the access to wherever you live, wherever your street is. Step outside. Look, guys, I'm trying to generalize now because I don't know where Zoe Dean lives. But imagine you step out from your house is behind you. You step out onto the street, you can turn left and you can turn right. I'm assuming, I don't know. And just think, okay, what's left, what's right? If I close down the right-hand end of the street, can people still get in? Can we just would it be a feasible scenario where you say to everyone on the street, right, listen, we're going to close the west side of the street off, west side. We're going to close the west side of the street off, and then people are just going to come in through the east side, and that way we can put a checkpoint on that way, and then everybody's secure. People will understand that, guys. People will understand that. We did that, I did this in the military lots of times. You go into villages, you will go into towns, and you would carve the roads up. You not carve, I don't mean carve them up with I mean like you would you'd say, right, that road over there, we don't need that anymore. We need to close that road. We need to close this road. This is going to be our only way in. That's going to be our only way out. We don't go down this road. You don't go down that road. And you need to, you need to rethink the way you live, and you need to reconsider where you live in those thoughts. Because listen, guys, I'll give you that again. I'll tell you guys what I couldn't say on TikTok. So, like I said, we went out for dinner, drove past the park. The girls are like, "Oh, can we go in the park? Can we go in the park?" And you know what it's like, guys. You guys know what it's like. You drive, you're like, yeah. We'll talk about it in a minute. You get to have the dinner. Can we go in the park? Oh, sorry. Anyway, so I took the girls to the park. This park was on a housing estate. When I got to the park, I could see a little shop, so I walked up to the shop. Left the girls at the park. It wasn't far, maybe 50 meters or something. I could still see the girls from the shop. When I came out the shop, a guy came up to me and he was asking me like who I was, basically. And I thought, honestly, guys, at first I thought, am I going to have to throw hands right now? I thought, am I going to have to throw hands? Like, I'm never going to. I don't even know I'm going to explain this one. But basically, what he was saying is the park where the girls were playing, and I was at the shop walking back with him. He was really polite. He was a good guy. As I was walking back, he said, "Look, we've had brown people turn up at that park in their cars and come and approach the girls who were playing on the park." And I was like, wow. And people are having to take this into their own. Guys, listen, for anybody who's watching or watching later on, this is anecdotal. I don't know if this guy was telling the truth or not. I've got no reason to believe he was not telling the truth. This is just what happened to me. Anyway, and this is what's like put my train of thought thinking about this, because then I was thinking, well, if things descend, which I believe they're going to do at some point soon, we are going to see a situation in the United Kingdom where the police have lost control of the streets, people are fending for themselves. And in that context, when people know that people are vulnerable, you're going to get marauders. 100%, ladies and gentlemen, I can guarantee you will get marauders. Marauders, I think. People, opportunist thieves, opportunist predators. They're going to be driving around laughing. Oh, yeah, the police have gone. We can do what we want. That will happen, guys. I can guarantee you that will happen. That will happen in the descent into anarchy. Right, guys, there's so many comments today. I'm just going to jump down and get the last ones, guys. Donna Olbison. Oh, hang on. Donna Olbison is saying there is things like this a lot more often now. My kids' school went on lockdown last month as there was a group of men trying to access the Why schools, guys? What is it, man? What is it about schools? Is nothing sacred anymore? Last month there's a group of men were trying to get access while school was in. It's happening. People just don't want to see it. I agree, Donna. Donna, I absolutely agree that is happening. And it's just unfortunate, isn't it? It's just unfortunate. Make Trump the king, mass deportations. Oh, guys, look, we've got it's just... The web is twisted, guys. This web is twisted. I don't think people should put any faith. I think we should get rid of any trust or any faith in any world leader. And these sort of things need to be done at community level. They need to be done at local level. Work on Dunbar's number. Excuse me. Work on Dunbar's number. Try and get yourselves. Think about where you live, where 165 people would be around you, 165 people, if it's 200, whatever, and think, right, okay, how do we secure these people? James is responding to Donna, and he's saying, I live in a quiet, safe area, but now had to look at home security. I don't like going out. Guys, look, it's, yeah, I have situational awareness. I keep my eyes on something. Yeah, this is it, guys. People are, and again, it's like the other day I was talking about it. It was only when I spoke to my, mum, really. And my mum said, Sean, I can't believe things are happening. Listen, guys, for those of you guys who don't know, my mum, right. Where do I go with this? So my mum, she phoned me up the other day. You know the thing that I told her not to get? She's got one. Anyway, her and her mates are coming, and it's just crackers, guys. It's crackers that people are taking these things into their own. People have come to the realization now that nobody's coming to help them. And this guy, what's his name? The guy from. Look, guys, I don't want to sit here throwing dirt on people who are trying, and I'm not. I'm certainly not throwing dirt on people. All right, I'm just giving people a realistic analysis of the situation. When this guy, the Great British Protest, the Great British National Protest, when he came out and he's saying we're going to do all this good stuff. I said, look, guys, listen. Go back through my videos. I've done videos on this, and I've certainly talked about it on the live streams. I don't know if they were being uploaded at that time. But protesting, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. I think the real change, whether it's good or bad, I'm not commenting, but I think the real change is going to happen at local level. The real change is going to happen with flash mobs of 50, 100 people turning up, flash protests. You guys know what I'm talking about. Flash protests, and then they're going to be leaving. These protests that are planned, everybody get down here on the 19th. Everybody get down here on the 19th. We're gonna do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, Macron. Yeah, don't send any boats on the 19th, mate. Yeah, it's only a day. Just double it up the next day. Yeah, no worries. What? Yeah. Well, ask David Lammy. Yeah. How much? Yeah, well, I'll send you 100 million if you want. Yeah, no worries. No, I've got loads of money. I'll just put the taxes up. Rachel, put the taxes up, love. We need another 100 million for Macron. Why? What's he doing? I don't know. I didn't ask him. All right, mate, there's no borders between us. Yeah, no worries. You see where I'm going with this? They can have, the police get ready. They have time to react. They have time to respond. I think the change, the movement, the fire, the flame, the spark, whatever you want to call it, the anarchy. The anarchy will start when people start to mobilize and people start to understand that flash mobs are going to be more effective than any of these mass protests. What people don't understand is, and what people don't understand here, guys, is once you start doing that, you get a counter reaction. So those people in the hotels, they'll get overly aggressive. And let's be clear, guys, okay? 16-year-old kids are not going to be able to, 16-year-old kids are not going to be able to win a fight against 5, 10 African men. It's just not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. So then you're going to get people getting injured. And guys, it's gonna be literally the summer of carnage, guys. It's on its way. I can't think of better words to describe it. Donna Olbison saying CCTV, light sensors, double locking mechanisms, get it all. Yes, all those things are good, guys. What I will say, and I don't mean to. So when you're doing a security analysis or a security audit, I've done quite a few in my time, believe me. There's two ways you can go. I go down the road of hiding. I go down the road of not letting people know where you are, not overtly advertising things, and being quiet. I know that's not going to be, I know not everybody can do that because of their houses, their locations. But, there's two different ways you can do this. For example, You can have massive gates with, all the fancy technology on them. People are going to know those gates are expensive. People are going to know that you've got some money clearly, and people are going to want to know what's behind those gates. And unfortunately, all this technology with gates that are motorized, I think, all these motorizations, they break down, guys. They do. I've used the most sophisticated systems that money can buy, and eventually they all break down. So unless you've got that budget to keep pushing into that, just get yourself a gate. Get yourself a gate and have cover from view. Cover from view is essential, guys. Some people say it's a double-edged weapon because once people are behind the gate, they can do what they want and nobody can see. Potato, guys. I would say I'd rather people not be able to see where I live rather than people being able to see where I live behind a gate. Because you see where I'm going with that, guys. John is saying these people that are trying to access schools are illegal immigrants. Well, I don't know if they're illegal immigrants, guys. There was nothing in the comments to say that they were illegal immigrants. I don't know. And I don't know that. I'm just reading a comment. I honestly think it's their culture. How we think of children and how they think of children is different. Yeah, so back in, I want to say 2013, it might have been 2014. Back in 2014 in Africa, there was a group called Boko Haram, I can't remember. But basically, they went into like this Christian village and they just took all the girls. They literally took all the girls. All the girls, they just kidnapped them. Went to a school. Yeah, girls, you're coming with me. And that was just it. Yeah, all the girls are gone. Where are they gone? Don't know. Are they getting them back? Don't know. What's happened to them? Don't know. That was it. So, what I'll say is, how do we know that these guys from Boko Haram are not coming over to the United Kingdom? Because they're certainly not checking them. I mean, those guys from Boko Haram, do you think they had CRB checks? Do you think somebody questioned them in these places in Africa and said, "Oh yeah, we've got you with your passport. You're a bad person. You're Boko Haram. You kidnapped me." Like, no, of course not. Nobody knows, and that's the frustrating thing for me. I know a lot more of this information, guys, than I can talk about. And for me, some of the things that I've seen and witnessed firsthand involving, I'm just going to leave it there, guys, okay? And I know that these people will be eligible to come to the United Kingdom. I know that. They don't have any criminal records. They've done some really, really bad stuff, but it's all been legal in those countries. Just think about it, guys. What is legal and what crimes could be getting away with in other countries, and then people can just come to the United Kingdom? It's kind of like joining the Foreign Legion, isn't it? Oh, I've committed a crime in my country. Whew. Chuck your passport, get yourself on a boat, go to England, and you'll get a 5-star hotel. That's literally it. Jane Taylor, saying during our neighborhood used Facebook to help each other out, sharing and caring, passing out. Yeah, guys, listen, this is what I'm talking about. Jane Taylor, you are a winner, Jane Taylor. You are a light. You're a trailblazer. You are a leader in your community. This is what we're talking about, guys. Okay? Hear me out, fam, one time. So you guys are like Jane Taylor here. This is perfect. This is what people need to do. You need to get Facebook groups. You need to have vigilance. And I'm calling it now, guys. You need to access. So the crux of this video, guys, is we only have a few days left, right? And you need to really start thinking about accessing, controlling the access and egress to wherever it is you live. And I don't mean your front door. I mean, like Jane Taylor's saying here. Look, maybe I should do private groups or something and talk about this. Like tutorials, I don't know. But, Jane Taylor here is saying during the neighborhood use Facebook to help each other out and share and care package. This is what you need to do. You need to think, right, okay, we need to think about our local area, what that is, what we class as our local area. Maybe it's this street, that street, and that street. You all come together. You say, right, we're going to close these streets off. This is how you get in now. This is how you get out. At that corner, we're going to put a garden shed right at the end there on that bit of grass at the end. We're going to put cones across the street. We're going to have a chain there, and somebody from each house is going to have, we're going to do an hour each. Each house is going to do an hour on that, on manning that checkpoint. And we only let people in and out of this location that actually live here. Honestly, guys, an hour a day is nothing. If you can get it right. Donna is saying, what's happening in Manchester? I don't know what is happening in Manchester. Hang on. Zoe Dean, wow, sounds like something out of James Bond. I don't know what we're talking about here, guys. What's something out of James Bond? James, if someone wants to break into my house, it sets off a smoke alarm that fills the whole downstairs and maybe upstairs. Whoa, okay, that's pretty cool. I'll go with that. Yeah,
maybe joining together.
What have I done?
Is not going to work. Maybe we're at a point now where the only thing that will work is.
Right, sorry. So let's just listen to the rest. Guys, listen, I'm going to let you guys listen to the rest of this little rant that this guy's doing. This is the guy from the Great British National Protest. I forgot to play it all on TikTok, but he does swear quite a bit, so I might have got the video banned. We're just going to play it now, guys. Listen, this guy has woken up. He understands that protesting is going to solve nothing.
This just isn't viable. It's not doable. Maybe the trolls are right. Maybe they've been right all along. Maybe protests aren't going to work. Maybe joining together in our local city centres is not going to work. Maybe we're at a point now where the only thing that will work is if we all just completely opt out. I don't know. Is that what people want? Do people want me to organise that? Do you want to take to the streets for weeks, months at a time? Of course, I've got to say in a peaceful manner because, heaven forbid somebody might say something online to evoke some sort of emotion.
Okay, first of all, what he's talking about there, all right, it's not going to happen. It's not feasible. People have got jobs. People have got things to do. Again, guys, look, I'll tell you what's going to happen. It's not going to be it's not going to be one person who's going to drive this. This is going to be a community-led, I guess, rebellion. Maybe a rebellion would be a right word. I'm trying to think of a word to use. And it's going to be those flash mobs, guys. Groups of people, 50 plus, going places, having their say, conducting their protest, and then leaving. That's what it's going to be, guys.
Response from British citizens who have otherwise been made to feel downtrodden and emotionless. Of course, I have to say we need to do it.
You see what he's saying there, guys, about the people of Britain being made to feel downtrodden and, like you're a bad person. This is all part of subversion, right? The first part of subversion is demoralization. I defy anyone, apart from Ed Miliband, because he's stupid. I defy anyone to tell me, apart from Ed Miliband, because I would love to argue with Ed Miliband. I would love to argue with Ed Miliband. I'd love to debate him. But I defy anyone to tell me that the United Kingdom is not a demoralized country. So that's already happened. Right now, guys, we are being destabilized.
A peaceful way, otherwise I'll end up in fucking jail. Who didn't end up in jail? The Afghan refugee that raped an 11-year-old girl 3 times. He didn't go to jail because he didn't know it was wrong in this country. That was the defense he used, and he got the fuck away with it. Do we take to the streets for weeks, months at a time, opting out, refusing to work, refusing to pay bills, refusing to take part in this?
So he has hit something on the head there, but that is not going to happen because people won't do it. And again, like I said this a year ago, guys. I don't know if you guys remember me saying it, but I said this a year ago. To bring the government to their knees, we all need to go on benefits. We all need to stop working, quit your job, stop paying tax, and say, yep, I'm good. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm over. I'm not coming back. Just give me I'm going to have an extended holiday. It's going to be a bit rubbish because but people won't do that because they've got bills, they've got mortgages, they've got car on finance that they probably don't need to impress people they don't like.
Fucking system that we fund through our taxes, through working like fucking animals day in, day out, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. So
I mean, he's really weak. I mean, he's really like, he's really going for it here, guys. He's really just, I think he's like, something's happened and he's just realized now that the enormity of the scale and the enormity of this, guys, it's unfathomable.
That they can take that money and use it against us.
What did I say, guys? What did I say? I said they're taking our tax money. They're taking your tax money and outbidding you on your own property with your own money. Yeah. They're taxing you, then they're outbidding you for your own property with your own money and giving it to migrants. That is what's happening, guys. Look what's happening to my sister's shop. You know, similar things happen like that, guys.
Maybe we do all these just opt out to be peacefully non-compliant.
That's what I think is the only peaceful way that we get out of this. That's the only peaceful way that we get out of that, but it's not going to happen. And you know, when people say, "Oh, but Sean, you know, you've got to be no." Look, guys, I'm a strategic analyst. All right, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm not going to flim-flammer and give you an ideological outcome. I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm not going to try and sugarcoat anything and say, yeah, you know, and get bright-eyed, bushy-tailed and saying, guys, listen, if we all do this for the greater good, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's going to go bad, guys. You know, the only way that we could do this peacefully would be if everybody stopped working, said, what's the Russian? TikTok, Takoy, Davai, do Svidanya. You know, and just refused to work and just said, I'm not working anymore. I want my free money. I want my free money, you know, and I want my bills paid and I want a council house and I want to free this and everybody did that. How would the government pay for it? They wouldn't. And then we just say, yeah, well, but it's coming to that anyway. And for me, I've always been relatively successful. In fact, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Just give me a second. So I've always been relatively successful in my career because I can see the way things are going. And rather than flog a dead horse all the way up to that end point and then it'd be, you know, I'm like, right, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going to end up over there if I don't do something now. If I don't take action now, that's where I'm going. I don't want to go over there. I want to go over there. So as devastating as it might be now, you move tack and you go for it. A good analogy for this was, believe it or not, guys, I used to play quite a lot of poker. I won the deposit for my house by playing poker. And I always have an all-in pot. So Texas Hold'em. So we start playing Texas Hold'em, you might have like 1,000 points worth of chips or whatever. You know, as soon as I start playing, I'll say, right, I'm only playing with 500. If I lose these 500, that other 500 is my all-in pot. Now, the reason I say that is because if you keep if you're having a bad day and your blinds are chipping away at you and you're losing little bits of money from your pot, eventually that pot's going to be nothing. And then when you say all in, it's not going to scare anyone off. So, you know, if you're going that way anyway, it's better to go out in a bang. It's better to take things on your own terms. Marianne Morris. Oh, that's not Marianne Morris. That's Mr. Mister. Hello, Mr. Mister. I was gonna, but the queue was massive and had a dog. Okay, I think I'm missing somebody's. I think somebody's talking there. I think you guys are talking to among yourselves. Right. I just had a comment here from Marianne. I think Marianne. Right, I totally right. Hang on, I'm sure Marianne just put a comment here. Ah, yeah, there she is. So Marianne Morris, Marianne Morris is that my phone? Marianne Morris is saying, did you see that policewoman? She was saying it wasn't just her face being hit. The attacker had stuffed something up her nose, from what she said. No, I haven't, guys, and I've not had an. Let's get an update on the Manchester. Let's get a quick update on the Manchester 2. Manchester Airport. No updates, guys. No updates. It's bonkers. It's absolutely insane that there's like literally a media blackout on this, guys. There's an absolute media blackout on this, I'm telling you. Yeah, guys, you guys are talking about Chippy and Mablethorpe. That is absolutely fine by me. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to close this down now. You guys have been fantastic as always. Guys, listen, try and spread this message. Try and share my stuff on your socials, on wherever you guys share it. If you're on, you've not done so already, please hit the buttons below, the like, the follow, subscribe, buttons up here. Really appreciate it, guys, and it really helps me out. Listen, guys, okay, we literally have a few days left until the summer holidays, okay? What I'm saying is do this now. Just look at your access and egress points to your housing estates, your streets, and think about if there was going to be a zombie apocalypse, how you'd close them off and how you would control them, because you may have to do that. Do you know what, guys? I kind of like the way I closed the other live stream down. So if you're listening to this, then you are the resistance.